She didn't just say it, she performed it. A crowded dinner table, laughter spilling with every clink of glass, conversations humming in the background. And then her voice rose above it all, sharp, deliberate, cruel. "Stop acting like we're married. You don't get a say in where I go or who I'm with." The room erupted. They laughed, not because it was funny but because she wanted them to. She leaned back in her chair, smirk painted on her lips, eyes daring me to react. And me. I smiled, nodded, stayed quiet. To them I was the joke. But inside something shifted. Not rage. Not despair. Something quieter. Harder. Final. We had met 3 years earlier, when she was the kind of fire that draws you in even as it burns. She was unpredictable, magnetic, alive in ways I thought I needed. I told myself I could be her anchor without being her cage. That I could give her safety without taking away her freedom. When she moved in after 6 months, I thought it was the beginning of a life we were building together. Our mornings blended, my black coffee, her green tea. My desk filled with her scattered makeup brushes, my shelves cluttered with her novels half-read. Every corner of my home began to carry her presence, until I stopped calling it mine and started calling it ours. I thought we were creating a future. But over time, I realized what I was actually building wasn't a partnership. It was a stage. A stage where she played the star and I was just the backdrop. My loyalty became her convenience. My stability became her cushion. And every ounce of trust one gave became another test she felt entitled to run. The first late night, she smiled and said it was just work drinks. The second, a girls' night. The third, she didn't bother with excuses at all. Her eyes would avoid mine, her phone would light up at odd hours, her perfume would carry scents that weren't her own. And the silence between us grew so loud it drowned everything else out. By the time she mocked me in front of our friends, I already knew. That night wasn't a surprise. It was proof. Proof of what I had suspected for months. But I didn't confront her. Confrontation would have been a gift, validation she didn't deserve. Instead I smiled. I let her believe she had won. And quietly I decided. She was already gone. The next morning she rolled her suitcase to the door, chirping about her weekend away. I kissed her cheek, wished her fun, and watched her walk out without looking back. The second the door shut I began. First the locksmith. By noon every lock had been replaced. Her key was nothing more than scrap metal now. Second I called the landlord. Her name had never touched a single line of that lease. This home had always been mine, legally and otherwise. Third, I gathered every fragment of her presence. Every careless shoe left in the hallway, every piece of jewelry tossed onto the dresser, every note, every photo, every lie wrapped in memory. I packed them carefully into boxes, taped them shut, and stacked them neatly in the garage. Not inside. Inside. A symbolic exile. Finally, I spoke to our neighbor, the one who had always noticed more than she thought, who had seen her slipping in late, seen the different cars in the driveway when I was away. I told him in one sentence. "She doesn't live here anymore." His nod said enough. Sunday evening came. I saw her headlights sweep across the driveway, heard the familiar slam of her car door. She was humming when she walked up the steps, suitcase wheels dragging behind her. She slid her key into the lock, twisted, failed. Tried again. Jiggled it harder. The sound of her frustration echoed in the silence. Then came the neighbor's voice, casual, almost amused. "He changed the locks. Said you don't live here anymore." I watched from the upstairs window as the realization spread across her face. That same woman who mocked me in front of friends now stood outside, helpless, rattling a key that belonged to a past she no longer had access to. My phone buzzed. Call. Then two. Then a flood of texts. "What the hell? You can't do this. We need to talk. Answer me." I replied only once. "Your things are in the garage." When I finally opened the door later, she stood there, mascara streaking down her face, anger shaking in every word. "You can't just throw me out like this." I didn't shout. I didn't flinch. My voice was calm, final. "You were never in. This place was mine before you. It'll be mine long after you. You said I wasn't your husband. That means you were never my wife. And wives get keys. Strangers don't. The words landed heavier than any blow. Behind her, the neighbor lingered, silent witness. Behind me, the boxes waited like tombstones of what once was. She looked at me as if I had betrayed her. But betrayal requires loyalty, and she had none left to give. I turned away, leaving her on that porch with nothing but her suitcase and her reflection. That night I didn't toss or turn. I didn't feel guilt. Felt something else, clarity. For years I gave her trust, stability, a home. She mistook all of it for weakness. She thought I would beg for her chaos, fight for scraps of her affection, accept her mockery in public so long as she came back to me in private. But I don't beg. I don't fight for people who spit on loyalty. I don't cry for those who laugh at me. I erase them. Months have passed since. Sometimes I see her around town, her arm linked with someone new, her laugh a little too loud, her smile a little too forced. When our eyes meet, she looks away. Pretends not to notice me. I never wave. I never speak. Because the best revenge isn't fire, it isn't fury, it isn't chaos. The best revenge is silence. It's the lock that doesn't turn. The door that doesn't open. The life that continues without them as if they never mattered. She once told me I wasn't her husband. She was right. I wasn't her husband. I was her lesson.